Leaf-footed bug overwinters as an adult, typically in aggregations. Come March, April, they start to fly away. They need the temperature to get a little bit higher. If you know where the aggregation is, you can either treat that area or you can follow that aggregation to find out when the flight occurs. And that way you can time your pesticide applications in your cash crop, your almonds, to when the adult is showing up. They like to have some food source just for moisture during the winter time. Olives, citrus, palm trees underneath the frond. Any place like that is a great overwintering site. A little bit of moisture and some protection. There's a lot of overwintering spots for leaf-footed bug here. The ditch banks, the grass that's growing there, the old pipe stands, we've got a wood pile down here, all very close to the almond orchard. It's the adult overwintering stage that is the most critical. It comes from some habitat like this into the orchard and can cause serious damage within a very short period of time, probably less than a week. What we're going to do now is to walk into this orchard and look at the differences between cultivars on how much damage can be caused. Here we are inside the orchard, just 3 rows away from the overwintering site of the leaf-footed bug adult. It's that adult population which is critical to sample for. Within 1 or 2 weeks, that migrating population can cause all this damage. More than 50% of the crop has been dropped down to the ground. And again, it's on the Fritz cultivar. They do go after certain cultivars more than others. They picked a cultivar that may have a softer shell, may have some chemical cue to it, but they clearly missed the first outside row, came in here, started feeding. The classic damage signs here of leaf-footed bug feeding. This was all caused by the overwintering adult population of the leaf-footed bug flying in from its overwintering site, probably the ditch bank that we saw in the last set. We can look down the row and we can see more than half the crop, thousands of nuts on the ground. The damage probably occurred in just a week and a half, 2 weeks of feeding. That's why it's critical to sample once a week during that April-May period. What we're going to do now is try to figure out the best way to sample during that critical April-May period when those adults are moving from their overwintering site. The beating tray is a classic tool to sample for all kinds of insects in orchards, especially some of the stink bugs and even leaf-footed bug nymphs. But it doesn't work well during that critical April period when the adult leaf-footed bug is leaving their overwintering site. This is a very strong flyer, and when you approach the branch, even before you strike it, sometimes the adult leaf-footed bug flies away. For that reason, the beating tray doesn't work. Rather than the beating tray, one of the tools we like to use for leaf-footed bug adult sampling is just a long pole, about 7 feet, 8 feet in length. We go down the rows, especially the areas close to the leaf-footed bug adult overwintering site. Beginning in late March, we just tap the tops of the tree. We tap the branches of the tree, and we look for adult leaf-footed bugs flying away. You can actually even hear the buzz of their wings when they go. Once you start to see leaf-footed bug adults, you can get an idea of the damage. That's when you start looking for the mosses coming out, the little bit of leaf-footed bug feeding damage, knowing that the insect is there and feeding and treatments are now necessary. We do that on about 100, 200 trees. It goes very, very quickly. A good method to sample for the adult leaf-footed bug.